the 4 things I learned from going live on Facebook. So I'm going to talk about on this episode, or more specifically, the 4 things I learned from going live on Facebook with an external mic. And I went live 4 times over the last 2 days, and 3 of them were a complete disaster. So that's what you have to look forward to. I'll talk about a couple other things as well. Of course, subscribe, comment, like, follow, and I'll be right back after the intro. The 4 things I learned from going live on Facebook with an external mic. Oh my gosh, it was a complete mayhem. Before I get back to that, before I talk about that though, I do want to talk about my backlog of episodes, the Table Rush Talk Show episodes. Subscribe, of course, subscribe. Welcome to the Table Rush Talk Show. So I have had a backlog of 10 or 20 episodes for a good year, right? Like the content would be pouring out of me so fast that I was recording episodes all the time. So if I ever got to a non-creative spot in my podcasting, talk show, YouTubing journey, I would always have 5 or 10 episodes to fall back on that were already recorded. And I've been publishing an episode a day for a little over a year. So for a year and 2 or 3 months by now. And when you're publishing an episode every day, and you're committed to publishing an episode every day, and you're somehow trying to add value, all debatable, it can be challenging, and it's nice to have a backlog of episodes that you can fall back on, that you can publish. And so I was inspired to bleed them all off. I was inspired to bleed off all those episodes and not have that cushion, and to have the speed of the recording to publishing happening a lot quicker. So usually I would, record, and then it might be a month or 2 till the next episode, till I would publish that episode. But now this is live, this is real, baby. Like, I'm recording this, it's hitting the airwaves tomorrow. And actually, I meant to go Facebook Live on this, so next one I'll go Facebook Live. Darn it! But let's get to it. So now that I've burned off the backlog, so I'm all committed right now to going on Facebook Live. I want to put myself out there more as a creator, as an entrepreneur, as helping other people publish consistently. That's really a goal of mine, is to help other people publish consistently, and to inspire them, and to take that messy action, and to let go of the metrics and things like that, and to help people find their voice. Because really, that's been my journey. I think it's really interesting to see people that know what they want to talk about. They've got their offer together. They know how they want to help, or they know their audience, or they just have those key things sorted out. It can be a lot more interesting, because if you're like, oh, I know I want to talk about NFTs, and I know that I want to talk to the millennials who want to make the art, right? Well, gosh, if you know that, you can tailor your content to that. And for me, I've had a lot bigger, broader audience. Not audience, like thought stream. I'm like, I don't really know. I got to figure it out, and it's like the way that I've been figuring it out is by doing. And so right now, I'm pretty clear on, hey, heart-centered entrepreneurs that are on round 2 of their life, right? They're on round 2 in their life, and they're like relaunching. They want to relaunch with their new voice. And I love that thought, and I love that concept. And so I'm trying to, as I find my voice and I narrow down my audience, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to craft a stronger message. I'm like, I need to get on Facebook Live, and I want to go live because it's fun for me. So, all right, 4 things I learned from going on Facebook Live with external mics. And I'm all about external mics because I think sound quality's better, production value's a little bit better, and I like the gadgets. So my audience could be heart-centered entrepreneurs who are ready to relaunch in second half of life that like the microphone gadgets. I used to DJ back in the day and set up sound systems and all that, and I was never super deep on the tech, but just enough that I love the toys. And anyway, number 1 is have a checklist. Have a checklist. So it's clear to me if you're going live on Facebook, or you're doing remote recording, or you're doing anything that increase the chances of an error, you better have a checklist. And for me, the 2 things I'm going to have on my checklist are, for sure, are 1, make sure you check with the monitor mix. So you just have a headphone, so you can check and make sure that the sound is good, that the mic's working. And then, because twice it wasn't, and then the other thing is make sure that you're going live to public and not to yourself. So what happened was I go live, I'm unboxing the Rode Wireless Go 2. I'm so excited, I got it in the mail. I'm so excited to build like a super easy, functional, easy to set up wireless lav mic thing, lapel mic thing, or remote mic, so that way I can do podcast episodes, interviews on the fly, super easy. Hence the live, and I want to do it live, right? I want to get StreamYard going, Facebook Live going, whatever, all that stuff. And so I do the big unboxing, the big reveal. I open the what are they called? The Amazon packages, and super fun. I'm showing all the toys. I'm doing all this stuff, and I get done, and I go, and I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. That was the best 9-minute, 10-minute riff ever. I was so proud of myself. And I listen to it, and there's this brutal static. I'm like, oh no, I'd gone live. Like, it's just, you can't even hear me talking. The static is brutal. And I'm like, dang it. So I'm like, all right, check the monitor mix. So on the external mics I've got, you can, plug in a headphone so you can listen. So I'm like, awesome. So I do riff 2, same thing. And it's really funny. Don't tell anybody, but I tape the Amazon packages back together so I can re-rip them open, right? It's so funny. So I tape them back together. I get the monitor mic going, and I'm here. Yeah, it's good. This is awesome. I do the riff, 10 minutes, it's great again. Turns out I was only going live to me, because you can test the live by going live just to yourself instead of the full audience or public. So I was like, oh no. So fail number 2, and it's late last night. It's 11 o'clock. I'm burned out. Of course, I finally had the courage to go live at 11 p.m. So try 3. Oh, and I'm swearing. I'm like, darn you, universe. Darn you, God damn it. Excuse my language. I might have dropped a F-bomb or 2 as well. And usually I'm super calm, so I was really worked up. And I'm sure my neighbors were like, what's this all about? But it was one of those moments. And it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I want to get to the point where I'm doing sales on lives. I'm doing webinars to sell. I'm doing these things. And when you're doing that, there's going to be a lot of saying the same stories, the same message. I'm going to need to bring that passion each time. And it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it's going to be like telling a lot of the stories over and over and bringing that excitement and bringing that energy. And I was like, oh, what a great opportunity. What a great learning opportunity. So I love that. And the messy action. So today I was inspired to to bring the kit downtown to meet a friend who owns it's called Rylogics. He owns a company called Rylogics, and he helps small businesses, sysadmin, I guess is what you'd call that. Like, he helps them with their data backup, their computer stuff, like on the on-call kind of stuff. He comes in, sets up networks for them, all that kind of stuff. And he loves the gear too. So I was like, hey, let's meet at Phil's Coffee, have a coffee, and I'm going to show you all these toys, and let's do a really fun live and interview. I'll interview you, and you can teach the audience something, and it'll be fun, and you can talk about your company, and we'll get to check out the Rode Go 2, wireless Go 2. So we do the whole thing. It goes awesome. And I couldn't find my portable monitor mix mic headphones, right? I just had the big headphones, and I was like, I'll wing it. The same problem won't happen again. Don't worry about bringing in a headphone to check. We do the riff. Guess what? Another mic problem with a different mic on Facebook Live. I believe that Facebook Live gets glitchy as heck with external mics. So I have my checklist. Check the sound. Check the monitor mix with an external headphone to make sure. I'm looking for my list. Now I lost it. So there's at least two things to put. So have a list. There we go. Here's my cheat sheet. Have a checklist. Make sure your monitor mix is good. Make sure you have it set for public. The other thing that I learned is, oh my gosh, I had so much fun doing the lives. I love the lives. I'm super excited to do more lives, to putting myself out there on that level, to having my mobile mic kit together, to be going out in public and just having super fun interviews on the fly. I don't know if that was 4 things. I just wanted to have a catchy title. The 4 things I learned from going live on Facebook with an external mic. But number one thing, have a checklist. Have a checklist so you can make sure whenever you're going to record somebody or do something live that you can ensure or reduce the chance of failure. So there you go. Peace out. Thank you everybody for listening. Subscribe. I want to point. Subscribe. I think it's right down there or there, wherever it is. Subscribe if you're listening in podcast land. Follow, download, comment, like, love. One last thing. That's it. Oh yes, one day soon I'll have the end card. I'm learning about end cards for YouTube. Lots to learn. Take the messy action, people.